All right, y'all, welcome back to episode 3 of this, or day 3 of this. Today we're going to be talking about how to build credit from scratch. I wrote down a whole bunch of things that we're going to go over and cover to help put you guys in a great situation and get that 700 credit score. I would say within like 6 months you should be good. So yeah, let's get right into it. Okay, now number 1 is opening your first credit card. You're not going to be able to achieve, like I would say, a 700, 750 credit score without opening a credit card, because you have your credit usage, which makes 30% of your overall score. Like if you're not using that, there's a whole bunch of points that's going to be missing on the table. So you definitely need to get a credit card to build credit. It's definitely necessary. I hear people say sometimes you don't need it. It's definitely needed. Okay, so now with credit cards, there's going to be unsecured and secured credit cards. So an unsecured card is going to be a card where the bank is going to be providing you with the limit, and a secured card is going to be where you're going to be providing a limit on the card. So like you would deposit, let's say like $300 to $500, and then that would be your starting credit limit. And now good banks to start this off with, I would recommend Discover or Capital One, because these are good, like, starter banks just to get your feet wet. I would say you should go with Discover. Capital One is iffy because they do pull all 3 bureaus, so they do have like a bad rep for that. But I would say go Discover, or if you have a credit union or whoever your primary bank is, I would go with them and keep building that internal relationship with them, because eventually that's going to lead to you getting more products with them and at an easier way, better interest rates. It's always best to bank with a primary bank that you say you already had a relationship with since you're younger, like if your parents put you on an account. Or I would say go ahead and start a bank account with a credit union for sure. Now the next thing we're going to talk about is keeping your usage low on these credit cards. And it's good to be able to build these habits early on, because like in my case, I had went through a whole bunch of things where I'm spending a whole bunch of money on my credit cards, messing up my credit score just due to like financial irresponsibility, I guess you could say. And it's best to start it like as early on as possible to get yourself in order and make sure like it's just like the priority, like, I'm not spending no more than that, and like that's it. So yeah, let's say for example you have a $500 limit, 10% of that would be $50. So every time your statement reflects, you want to make sure your balance is at $50, so you're not affecting your credit score. Because now let's say for example you have a $500 limit and you're spending $400 and the statement came out, your score is going to tank because it's showing that your card is almost maxed out. Again, high usage equals score drop, and that's not what we want. We want to be able to get to the 700, 750, 800. Without keeping a good credit usage, you're not going to be able to get there, because again, it makes up 30% of your overall score. So this is something that you need to be on early on and make sure you build these strong habits again. Okay, now your next point, and the most important thing you need to do, is paying on time. Never miss a payment, because missing a payment is going to kill your score. You could go down from 50 to 100 points just from one late payment. So again, pay on time. If you need to, you could put auto pay on and definitely like secure that. I try to make a lock, but it's whatever. But yeah, never miss a payment. Again, if you need to put on auto pay, put on auto pay. If there's a time where you're short on money, maybe you have a different credit card, take the money from that credit card, pay your credit card. But yeah, don't ever miss a payment. Another thing you could do to build credit is becoming an authorized user. It adds credit history, helps credit usage, and you're also inheriting somebody's credit history. So now let's say, for example, my nephew is trying to get on one of my credit cards that I have for 15 years, let's say, right? Once I put him on that credit card, all the history that I did with that credit card will be given to him. So all the credit age, so now he'll get 15 years of credit history on his credit report. And let's say I have a $15,000 limit on that card. Now that's going to report onto his credit report and also lower his credit usage, which is going to help boost his score. So yeah, becoming an authorized user is definitely something I recommend you to do. But again, don't be an authorized user on a whole bunch of different credit cards, because these banks could see the responsibility that you have on it. It's going to say authorized user. And let's say, for example, your credit report is just full of authorized user cards. You could still have a good credit score, but they're probably not going to approve you because you're not managing anything. So yeah, I would say just get one authorized user and make sure you start adding your own primary accounts, because it'll just work a lot better. Another thing with authorized user, make sure these are trusted people. You don't want to get on somebody's credit card who's irresponsible, because again, whatever they do on their credit is going to be affected on you, whether it's good or bad. So let's say, for example, I miss a payment and my nephew's on my card. He's going to get a late payment on his report and it's going to pull his card down. And again, if I max out my card, it's going to go on his credit and tank his usage. It's going to go way too high. His score is going to get tanked. So yeah, just be very careful with whose credit card you're getting on, because you don't want to get on the wrong person's credit card, because it could just kill your score. Okay, now the next thing is going to be adding installment accounts. Okay, so credit mix is something that's going to play a big factor in the approval side. I like to call it credit diversity. So for example, banks want to see you managing different types of accounts. They don't want to see you just managing one credit card. They want to see different types of things. So something you could do is get a credit builder, or you could do something called a pledge loan. Most banks offer pledge loan is basically like a secured card, but on a loan, you're basically gonna be putting up the money and you're gonna be paying the loan back. I know it sounds confusing, but like that's just the way it works. So basically you have a $500 thing, you'll call the bank and be like, hey, like I would like to do a pledge loan with my $500 in my account. They'll lock the money, it'll leave your account, and then it'll come back. So now what you could do is you'll just be paying that loan back with your own money, and then you'll just keep giving it back. I know it sounds very confusing because, you know, it still sounds confusing to me, but that's just the way it works. And again, this just shows banks another line of credit or some credit mix, credit diversity, things like that. And also with this, you could even do, if you have $10,000, you could do it with $10,000, and that's gonna even look a lot better to other banks when you're going to get approved for things like credit cards or personal loans or even cars. It's just gonna help a big thing. I would definitely recommend doing pledge loans for sure. All right, now just to go over everything, credit rules, pay everything on time, don't miss a payment, it's very, very important. Keep your balances low. Again, do not be maxing out your credit cards. It's just gonna ruin everything overall. You're not gonna get approved for nothing. It's gonna ruin your score. Keep your balances low. And again, don't apply for a lot of things. Getting too many inquiries on your credit report is just gonna lead to showing banks that you're too desperate for credit. You're just looking for credit everywhere. And again, having too many inquiries is also gonna affect your credit score because it has its own little part into it. And just let your accounts age. And again, like I said, you could get age through authorized user, but again, you want your own primary accounts to age. It's just gonna look so much better. So again, just let your accounts age. And yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any comments, comment them down below, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.